Hi boys and girls, this is Mr. Yates. In this video, I'm going to be giving you some directions about the history question of the day for chapter 18. This is the one where the question is, why didn't John Quincy Adams get much support for his ideas? The directions also tell you to use evidence from the text to answer the question and explain how your evidence answers the question. That means using ideas. Today, what I really want you to focus on when you're answering this question is I want you to use what we call I think to explain how the answer or how the evidence you found answers the question. And I'm going to show you how to use the word I think to help you explain your ideas. I'm going to give you an example right now. There are several other reasons why John Quincy Adams didn't get much support for his ideas elsewhere in this chapter, and I want you to use those. This one example is a freebie, but I will expect you to give some more examples that are in the text to fully answer this question. So first of all, I'm looking at why didn't John Quincy Adams get much support for his ideas. So I want to find evidence from the text that sort of gives me reasons why people basically wouldn't listen to him or didn't like him or would disagree with him. So what would make John Quincy Adams not get people to want to support his ideas? So as I was reading this, I did find one right away that I noticed. It said here he wasn't much fun to have around. He was just too serious. Well, when I'm thinking about this one, it seems to kind of make sense to me about that. I don't think if you were much fun to have around and just too serious that you would really like that person too much, or you wouldn't really want to listen to him sometimes because you didn't like him. He was just kind of dull and too serious. So I kind of thought to myself, well, that's, I think, what I'll put as one reason why. So what I did is I went ahead and I am going to type first my evidence from the text by using an answer sentence. So what I want to do is I'll type it in right here and then just paste it on and over here. So I'm saying one reason JQA, John Quincy Adams, didn't get much support for his ideas was that, according to the author on page 94, that's where I found my evidence for the text, down here at the bottom, page 94. It's important to make sure you keep using that, what do you call it, proof, so that you tell me where you found your evidence. So, one reason John Quincy Adams didn't get much support for his ideas, that's my answer sentence, was that, according to the author on page 94, and now I want to find that evidence that I used. There it is. He wasn't much fun to have around. He was just too serious. So I'm going to copy that pretty much directly from the text. So I'm going to put that in some quotation marks so I know I'm just directly copying it. So one reason John Quincy Adams didn't get much support for his ideas was that, according to the author on page 94, he wasn't much fun to have around. He was just too serious. So I've given my evidence. The next thing I need to do now is explain it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the phrase I think. This means that I'm going to explain why my evidence supports my answer. Since it's my ideas, I'm going to say I think. It's not something I'm copying from the text, but it's my own ideas. So I'm going to start off by saying I think. I'm just going to bold it to remind you. I think, and then I'm going to say, well, like I talked before, I said I think if John Quincy Adams is too serious and not much fun, so I'm going to explain my evidence one more time, or restate my evidence one more time. So I think that if JQA is too serious and not much fun, well, I'm going to say people wouldn't like him. So I think if JQA is too serious and not much fun, people wouldn't like him. And I think if they didn't like him, they wouldn't support his ideas. So it doesn't really say that in the text. These are my own ideas. This is what I'm thinking. Why I think that if he wasn't much fun to have around and too serious, that's why people wouldn't support him. And that's what I said here. If John Q. Adams' JQA is too serious and not much fun, people wouldn't like him. And if they didn't like him, they wouldn't support his ideas. So that fully explains my evidence and gives me a reason why my evidence answers the question. Now, boys and girls, as I show right here in my first part, this is only one reason. You're going to be giving me all the reasons that you find in the text. And there are several other reasons why people didn't support John Quincy Adams' ideas. I want you to find them all, use evidence, and then explain it, telling me using the words I think. All right, if you have any questions on this one still, make sure you email me and let me know. We're more than happy to help you out. Thanks, boys and girls, for following the directions and reading them today. Bye bye.